Yes.
Yeah.
And those sacrifices could be seen as, oh, you're being conservative, you're being too religious, and it's not about the religion, it's about the relationship. It's like when you commit to a girlfriend or a wife, it's like you're not going to go out there cheating, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like you have a new set of rules to honor yourself and honor the other person. And we have to think about that too. It's like, how do we honor God in our relationship with him? Because we can choose to be Samson at the beginning, right? Being anointed, being strong, and having all these great qualities. But then we can also choose to be the Samson that was vulnerable, but that had a purpose and understood the purpose of God in him. Which one is stronger? The ending of Samson or the beginning of Samson? Do you think, where do you think he was the strongest?
The strongest, I think, at the end when he saw the most clearest. When he was born again.
Well, he said he was blind. He said, I can see, I
Yeah.
can finally see, he said. I when I read that, I get so sad
Mm-hmm.
because he's not he's not lamenting. He's accepting and owning responsibility for his mistake, but also he's seeing God's strength as not his own, manifested in him. And and to me, it's like, man, I get sensitive because you have to be very strong to admit that you're blind and
Mm-hmm.
you can't see. And if you want to see further, you need God by your side.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's not like he freaked out about being blind either. Like,
That's a good point.
yeah, we read somebody who was blinded by God before too. Then his vision was also,
Paul,
yeah, it's Paul. Paul, yes, he was blinded.
excuse me, one second. Go ahead.
Take your time. Yeah, Paul was blinded in by God, and next thing you know, God gave him his vision back. So with Samson being blinded, he fully accepted it, and Paul freaked out. But Samson's acceptance was because he knew that this was somewhat of a punishment for his own disobedience. This was Samson taking accountability through his blindness.
J-
And when he went to go see God again, he knew that God was his full grace.
Yeah, and I agree with you, man. Like, I think that Samson realized that, like, his real strength was God. He finally understood that his power, his strength didn't really matter if God wasn't with him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when God was with him, this is where it was like he can be vulnerable and still be strong and feel strong. At the other end, he could have been strong, but he couldn't lay out his vulnerability because everyone would be like a vulture and try to feed him up. But then when he's in the jail, he was okay with being vulnerable. He was okay with letting go. He was okay with, something, I'm okay because I'm protected. Even if I'm captured by my enemies, I feel protected because I feel the presence of God. And I think that's the same thing that probably Paul felt. Like, Paul probably reflected just like Samson, man, I made a mistake. I was going after God himself. And then, you know, in that moment of blindness, it's like being in the desert. You're isolated.
Yeah.
And the reflection and acceptance that you made a mistake, and then God comes, it's like, it's okay. You're gonna recover your sight. But now you have a real purpose, just like Samson had a purpose of the Philistine. Paul had a purpose of the uh, sending the message to Gentiles.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Even when you're in those places of like those vulnerable places and you are connected and protected with God, it shows. Like with David too, being in the prison and then comes out, like managing the prison.
Oh, Joseph, yeah, Joseph,
Joseph,
yes,
sorry, not David, Joseph.
yeah,
Yeah.
Joseph. Like, and that this, what the Bible is teaching us is like I said, I don't know if you heard this, but to me, the Bible is like the conscience of God. And it's also telling us, like, read my story so you can understand when these behaviors happen to you, remember my story. Reflect on my consciousness, because I'm teaching you to make minimal mistakes so you can be closer to me. If you're closer to me, I can be there to aid you faster,
Yeah.
quicker, efficiently, because you're choosing that. You choose to be next to me because I'm next to you every single day.
Yeah, right. Literally, literally, he's like he's the help.
Yeah,
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 he's the glorified saying, "I'm gonna also lift you guys up."
yeah.
More like if you have the other gods that more like if you don't follow this rule, then they just kick you.
Mm,
All right, but Jesus is so merciful with us.
yeah,
God is very merciful with us.
yeah. And well, we normally always select the next episode, so I think it's my turn. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I am going to choose in the same book of Judges, Gideon, and I think you're gonna like Gideon.
Mm.
Gideon is a very interesting character, uh, and what I like about him, he's all the contrary of Samson.
Mm. Okay.
He's all the contrary of Samson, right? And you'll love him because the angel of God with Gideon have this like funny, I would say, interaction, and Gideon is always asking for signs.
Mm.
So also, those that are tuning in, if you have anyone that you wish that we could, talk about in our podcast, the Walk Ethics Guild podcast, let us know. Send a suggestion. If you have a prophet that you like from the Bible, or it's something about Jesus Christ, Paul, any of the apostles, just write to us. Also, if you wish to be part of this wonderful journey that we do, the walk with Jesus Christ, let us know. We would love to have you as a guest. So leave your comments. Don't be shy. Leave a comment down there. Let us know if you want to be part of the podcast. Kevin and I will, man, we will embrace you, and we will definitely love to have an extra person on the couch. And the couch is comfortable too. So, so what do you think, Kevin? Gideon?
Gideon, let's do it. I don't know too much.
Oh,
I'll
you're
do
gonna
my
love it.
research.
You're gonna love Gideon, bro. You're
Yeah.
gonna you're gonna like Gideon a lot. So we're gonna watch. We're gonna talk about Gideon next week, God permits. And thank you guys for being with us. Instagram, you guys were great. The questions were great. YouTube, good job viewing us. Like I said, any questions, any suggestions you have, please let us know. But in our next episode is going to be about Gideon. We will be posting polls this week. So stay tuned for that one. And also, hopefully, this episode will be probably posted next week. So that's one thing we got to discuss. Should we post them every Thursday?
Every Thursday, yeah, the Walk Thursdays.
Yeah. So we'll post them on Thursday, although we record them on Tuesdays.
Yeah,
So
Tuesdays for
yeah,
we stick to the T's.
yeah, we stick to the team. And I don't know, Kevin. What are your final words?
Remember, you don't have to be perfect to approach the faith. I have discovered that myself, and through my own experience, I thought I had to be perfect in order to go through. And God has my back, like God chose us, right? He chose us. Like that's all we need. That's all you need, right? So
Yeah.
if he's calling to you, answer the call. And if we fall, or it's more like when we fall, because we're human, when we fall, always turn back to God. God is our ultimate strength. And God was ultimately Samson's strength, the strongest man in the Bible.
Hmm. Even the strongest man can be to succumb to temptation. When you have Christ in your heart, remember that His grace overcomes any sin, and that is what's going to free us from the Delilahs, the snakes, the apples, all these different metaphors in the Bible, that tells us that temptation is always lurking around. Temptation is there to make us fall. The devil's there to make us fall. We fall ourselves because we believe our convictions, our morals, our ethics are going to be above others. But we have to look into the Word of God and understand what mercy and grace means, and understand that the sin has already been paid off for us. We don't own anything to anyone because Christ already paid the price for that. Now we have to build that relationship with Jesus in order for us to have this wonderful walk. And although we're going to go through tribulation, we're going to fall, like Kevin was saying, it's not about how perfect you are or that you have to almost create like your own sanctification or others to sanctify you. Nothing is saint more than the Lord Jesus Christ. What we can do is always in our imperfections find the Lord, find his love, and build that connection and relationship with him and trust him. And even when we fall and we lose faith, it's always getting back on your feet and rectifying. Because I think that's what Jesus wants us to do. It's like there's a saying in the Bible, it's like, how many times do you need to forgive? And he says you got to forgive 7 times.
For the
Seven.
righteous man,
Ex-
sin 7 times, and just the righteous man has sinned 7 times a day.
Yes.
Like, imagine that. Like,
So he puts this whole thing. It's like you can be righteous man and still sin so many times. Like he exposes our vulnerability, but being next to him and understanding that our walk with Jesus is going to be hard. It's just that we know we're going to be okay at the end. And that's what matters the most.
it's probably only hard because you only become more conscious.
Yes, indeed. As you walk with the Lord, right? You will become more conscious of what's good and bad. Right? So
Mhm.
thank you for being with us.
Yeah. I'm
Thank,
sorry.
thank you for being with us. We will be here next week, God permits, and we will talk about Gideon. And hopefully, you guys have questions even before we even have the show. So hit us up. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And thank you for being here with us. We will see you next week. I'm trying